All right, Sooners. Welcome back to No Faking Sports. Um, we lose one at home to Ole Miss, 34-26, in which huh, y'all watch the game, y'all know what happened. If you've been part of my channel for a while, you know where I stand. I was never a fan of Ben Arbuckle, and now all of a sudden everybody else is starting to say the same thing when before it was the O line, and you still got people saying it's the O line. Not when Xavier Robinson goes for 9 carries, 109 yards. It's not the offensive line. It's definitely not. And 2 touchdowns. You want to know what the issue is? Xavier Robinson had 9 carries. Torrey Blaylock had 6. John Mateer had 13 carries. And a lot of these were quarterback run calls. Why? I said it in my pregame video. When Josh Pate got on there and said Oklahoma needs to get John Mateer going in the run game. No, he does not. We don't need that. I don't want it. I never wanted it. When he was hired, I pointed out the fact that in his offense, his quarterback runs the ball more than the running back does, and I don't want any parts of it whatsoever because this is the garbage that you get. There's a reason why the game was designed the way it was designed. There's a reason why you have running backs and they train a certain way. There's a reason why you have quarterbacks and they train a certain way. He out here calling quarterback power like we got Cam Newton in the backfield. Does John Mateer clean more than our running backs? Does he squat more than our running backs? I know it's ridiculous to me, but I want to get into my notes, guys. One of the things that I said about Ben Arbuckle was the lack of experience was going to be his downfall because there are a lot of situations, football wise, in which he just has not seen. He has not been a part of. He has not succeeded at. He wasn't very good when he played the game. He hasn't been very good as a coordinator at any stop. Why the hell did we ask him to be the offensive coordinator? Ole Miss came out. They got 3 points. They found some success on their drives. Ole Miss did a lot of things in which they run more of a pro style offense with Charlie Weiss Jr. I don't know if y'all remember Mr. Weiss, but you know, big fat dude that used to be a head coach at Notre Dame. But they did a lot of good things, and one thing that they did as they progressed into the game on third downs when it was a longer yardage, 8 yards, 9 yards, they either ran a slant or they ran a rub route off the slant. That's the only thing they really did on third and long. They didn't really do much else. Now the quarterback did take off a couple of times and he made us pay. We should have been spying with our cheetah. What's the point of a cheetah if you're not going to use them to spy on those situations? But um, is what it is. Our defense, for the first time, didn't dominate, and that's okay. They're not going to always just dominate the other team. But as an offense, you have to help them out. You have to keep them off of the field a little bit when you know you have another high scoring offense on the other side of the football. I'm not going to say another high scoring offense because we don't have a high scoring offense. We don't. 26 points, middle of the road, that's what we do. Everybody want to say that Ben Arbuckle was going to come in and light the world on fire. He's the new hot commodity in coaching football. Hot garbage, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Time of possession, Ole Miss 34 minutes 36 seconds. Time of possession, Oklahoma 24 minutes 26 seconds. And we won the rushing battle. But when it mattered, we didn't extend drives. We were four for 14 on third down. 4 for 14. That's not running the football. And I don't know how many. They're not gonna listen to me, but you guys do. So that's why I get on here and I do this. As frustrating as it is, I hate to have to come on here and talk about this and relive this because I know y'all hate to relive it. But let's get into it. Our first series, I thought that we were going to come out and be a running team this game because the first play of the game, he ran the ball. Awesome. Then we got a big play to Satania, one-on-one coverage. We were able to get one-on-one coverage because we were showing a run look. And then we got in the red zone and we went pass holding. We were in the red zone with a 1st and 5 because they did an illegal substitution. So 1st and 5 in the red zone, and we go pass. Ended up 3rd and 14. We got in the red zone and we didn't even attempt to run the football. This is the problems that I have with this offensive coordinator in this trash offense. The defense held. They got a field goal. We got in the red zone and we didn't even attempt to run the ball. Okay, got it. Defense goes out for a second possession. Ole Miss does another good job. This time they get down and they get a touchdown. It is very imperative that after this, we come out and we establish something. But our second offensive series, we started with a run for Tory Blaylock, and then we started, all of a sudden, we want to run the ball with John Mateer. And then we get stopped on 3rd and 1, and we punt 3 and out. Third offensive series. Um, we get a 3rd and 3. So we got a short yardage situation. And that's why running the football is important because when you get into these short yardage situations on third down, the 3rd and 3s instead of the 3rd and 8s, the 3rd and 9s, then you have your entire playbook. You have the defense on their heels because they don't know what to expect. When you're at 3rd and 9, they know you got to pass the ball. So the pass rush is flying off the football, but you have to call it accordingly when it's a 3rd and 3 because you have to play the run, the pass, the screen, everything. We got a mesh concept. I really don't even think it was a mesh concept. I think it was just 2 slants, and he just kept going because it was off platform. Mateer scrambled a little bit, threw the ball to Satania. Satania, with his speed, ran down the sideline and made a good play for a touchdown. After the defense gave up 2 scores on the first 2 drives, they got stop. Okay? So they came back out, they got their shit together, and they got 2 stops in 2 consecutive series. All right, so Ole Miss goes down, they get another field goal. And then we have the ball inside of our 5. And they get a safety because we run a stretch play on the goal line. This is where experience comes in. That is not the time to run that play. But he ran it. It is what it is. That play did not cost us the game. The muff punt did not cost us the game. There is more to a football game than 1, 2, 3 plays. It's a culmination of everything, especially when you have a defense that continue to fight. But at the same time, if they're on the field a lot, then the other team's offense is getting more opportunities to find ways to beat the defense. So to this point, we're 15-10. All right. And we only have 8 yards rushing. And at this point, time of possession was 15 for Ole Miss, 7 minutes and 22 seconds for OU. Throughout the games, when I'm watching the game, I go back and I write down the time of possession. When I see where the game is going and starting to get out of hand and we're not running the football. It is the same thing that the offensive coordinator should be doing. At this point, when he sees that their time of possession is 15 minutes and ours is 7 minutes, and they have completely doubled us up in time of possession, then maybe you ought to dial it back on trying to throw the ball as much as you're trying to throw the ball. You're like a retard that refuses to understand that that star piece doesn't go into that triangle hole. You keep trying to do the same thing over and over and over and over. And what did I tell you guys? We need to run the football 35 to 40 times this game instead of John Mateer throwing the ball 30 times. He was 17 for 31, 223 yards and a touchdown. But that third down statistic, that 4 for 14, that's the telling stat. After halftime, we still had not moved the ball. I'm not going to say we haven't moved the ball. We are still getting our teeth kicked in for time of possession. And you have to give Ole Miss credit because they were able to move the ball and they were able to sustain some drives. Yes, the defense had their woes this game. But when the offense had their woes, the defense picked them up. Minus the Texas game, because once again, we just didn't run the football. But if we run the football and their defense just plays well and we lose, I can live with that. But we were winning this football game. We're winning this football game. Going into the fourth quarter, we're up by 1. Ole Miss scored 9 points in the fourth quarter, and you did absolutely nothing. Nothing. Xavier Robinson gave you 2 rushing touchdowns in the third quarter, and you forgot all about it. Let's give John Mateer the football. And I'm sitting up here thinking that you made some adjustments. So let's give you the benefit of the doubt and say you made some adjustments and got us 16 points in the second half. What happened to the fourth quarter? Money time. If they got 9 and you go get 10, we win the football game. But you did absolutely nothing. A goose egg. So you gave me 3 points in the first quarter. They had 10. You gave me 7 points in the second quarter. They had 12. The defense came out and made adjustments. They held them to 3 points in the third quarter. Gave you an opportunity to go get points. You got 16, but in the fourth quarter you fell off the freaking planet with your brain. because you insisted on John Mateer doing everything. And I said that John Mateer was going to be better than what we had a quarterback last year. I drew a blank real quick, forgot his name. It really don't even matter. But I also said I didn't want him to come in and try to be Mr. Everything for this football team. We don't need it. I told you I don't give a damn about him winning no Heisman Trophy. Oh, you insiders still getting on here talking about his damn thumb. Still complaining about the offensive line. There's only one person in this industry that's giving y'all the real. Now, are people good at what they do? They're good at what they do. I'm not going to tell you they're not good at what they do. Oh, your insider is phenomenal. I follow them. Josh Payton is phenomenal at what he does. I follow him. But when it comes to the Oklahoma Sooners and the X's and O's and the coaching aspect of it, this is the only channel that you need. This is the only channel that Ben Arbuckle needs. Somebody needs to send him my channel so he can subscribe. I don't know where we go from here. I am not going to be satisfied. This is not a playoff. This is not a playoff. I don't want to say team because y'all know how I feel about these players. This is not a playoff coaching staff. Brent Venables has not shown that he can get it done in a bowl game. He can coach a great defense, but overall management of the game, grabbing the offensive coordinator by the neck and telling him run the damn football, it's not it. And I try to think about where do we go from here? We're at Tennessee. Now, do I think we can beat Tennessee? Yeah, I think we can beat Tennessee. Tennessee's not a world beater. They're not that great of a football team. If we run the football. But you lost to them last year, too. Then we go on the road to Alabama, the team that we beat last year, running the ball 50 times a game with Xavier Robinson. They look better this year, but that's Washington's old coaching staff, and all they like to do is throw the football. They don't run the football. We can beat them. Missouri is playing probably the best football out of the last four remaining teams that we have left. They're in the dogfight with Vanderbilt right now. But they run the football and they play good defense. And if you can't figure out running the football, you're not going to beat LSU either. I'm not predicting a loss for any of those games. But I'm not putting money on what I think this coaching staff is going to do as far as the offensive side of the football. I have no faith in Ben Arbuckle whatsoever. The play that John Mateer had to go out, it wasn't Michael Hawkins that came in the game. He's done for the year. I'm gonna be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if he transfers because John Mateer is not a a draft pick. No NFL team is taking John Mateer. He has to stay in school. So Sooner Nation, you're going to get another year of John Mateer. Now, does Ben Arbuckle find a job at Oklahoma State or wherever hell else he can possibly go? I don't know. I hope he does. Does John Mateer go with him? Kind of like the situation with the UFC guy, the USC guy. I don't even want to say his name. Probably. Where does that leave Oklahoma moving forward? We got to find an offensive coordinator that runs a pro style system. I said this last year. I made a whole video of coaching candidates that we could possibly get. And each one of those candidates either had NFL experience or they won a national championship. Outside of that, I'm going to say it again. We don't need it. We don't want it. No more air raid. It's over. That mess has ruined the season of the best team that Brent Venables has had during his tenure at the University of Oklahoma. And at the rate coaches are getting fired, I don't even want to think about it, guys. But one thing that I do know is that this is the point where the sky falls. It's not because we're a bad football team. That's not even the case. If we were a bad football team, we could chalk it up and be like, okay, let's recruit. But when you have done all the recruiting that you need to do, you have all the players in place, and it's year after year after year, it's the coaching staff. What do you do? Where do you go? Because even if Brent Venables did get fired, which I don't want to happen, I'm just gonna say I don't want him fired. I just want him to find a damn offensive coordinator that's worth a damn. But if he was to get fired, where do we go? I don't have a video for head coaching guys at the University of Oklahoma because I know that you guys are just like me when you think about the University of Oklahoma. I want an Oklahoma guy. That's what I want. And even though Brent Venables played linebacker at Kansas State, to me, Brent Venables is an Oklahoma guy. He embodies everything that is good about the University of Oklahoma. He came in and fixed the program after Lincoln Riley took his shit show and went away. He fixed the program. We got better at recruiting. We got better at players not getting arrested. The Soul Mission is doing phenomenal things for our program. Where do we go? I hope he figures it out, man. Drop down in the comments. Tell me if you like my hat. I was at work today, man. I hope y'all saw my short that I did at halftime. But I sell manufactured homes. It's called Cowtown Home Center, 9000 Jacksboro Highway. If you need a manufactured home, come by and see me. I'll take care of you. We have a lifetime warranty. But that's my paid promotion. Drop down in the comments, man. I know y'all are upset about this game. What changes would you like to see made when it comes to the University of Oklahoma? That's the question I have for you guys. You know, I'm going to jump down in the comments and I'm going to interact with you. Man, if you just want to go here and say, oh, you sucks, okay, bro, whatever. I don't care because I know we don't. So I know the trolls are there. They love my channel. That's cool. Um, Comment, like, subscribe, do all that stuff, man. Until next time, it's still horns down. Boomer.